Professor Sumita Roy welcomes you to Sumita Roy's English classroom. Today's video is from a very famous classic. It will help you to learn all the skills of language so that your English improves. The way in which the exercises are given are all for benefiting your listening and speaking, and of course if you feel like reading it, you can read it also, and then your writing. Once you practice all these four using this story, you will benefit immensely. There are many stories already on the channel, and each of them you can listen to and practice speaking or writing if you're so interested. This story is by Oliver Goldsmith, and the title is She Stoops to Conquer. Now this is a play, it's a drama, and it is a very humorous one. It's not a very serious play, but it was extremely humorous at a time in the 18th century when people didn't want too much sorrow or too much sentiment. They wanted to enjoy themselves. That is what this story will tell you. And then you can change the story, and you can also add your own information and make a story of your own. Since many of you felt that the names are very tough, I'm going to tell you the names of all the characters at the end of the video. Not now. Now we have only two names. Very easy for you to remember. One is Kate, K-A-T-E. She is the young girl about whom the play is. She stoops to conquer. So the she in the play is Kate. And then there is a young man, Marlowe, M-A-R-L-O-W. Marlowe is a person whom the father of Kate has chosen for her to marry. So that is the story. But before we start, see how you can learn language from here. I gave you the title, She Stoops to Conquer. Now she is a pronoun. You can read a lot about personal pronouns in the videos of grammar. Then you have stoops. We don't say stoop, which is the present tense verb. We add an S to it because the subject is she. Third person singular subject, stoops. Now S-T-O-O-P-S looks like stops. If you read in a hurry, you will say stops. But this word is not stops, it is stoops. Oo sound is there. Your vocabulary also improves because stoop means to bend down. Stoop means to come lower, to lower yourself. That is what stoop, that is what she does. Why does she do it? That also is given to us. To conquer. She wants to win. And to win, she needs to not go higher, not, be higher, but to come down lower. We will see in the play. To conquer is an infinitive. It is a non-finite verb. So you have a main verb, you have a non-finite verb which doesn't work like a verb. You have a pronoun, all of them are together. You have stoops, which means to come lower. You have conquer, which means to win. So vocabulary, grammar, pronunciation, spelling, stoops, S-T-O-O-P-S. Conquer, C-O-N-Q-U-E-R. Q is there, not clearly pronounced. Conquer. And then, of course, spelling. All these things are important for you to learn. Now let us come to the story. The story has a few characters whose names I'm going to tell you later. Now I'm only going to tell you the relationship with each of them. Watch very carefully because after the story is over, you can talk about each one of these characters and that will be a short speech. Practicing a short speech is a wonderful way of learning English. Kate is the daughter of a rich man. Her father is rich, but he is very stingy. Stingy means a person who doesn't like to spend money. He hates to go to London because he lives in a rural area which is called countryside. Countryside. So they have a big house in the countryside. He forces his wife, that is Kate's mother, and daughter to stay there, not to go and enjoy in the capital city of London. Kate loves her father very much, so she follows his instruction. And the father says, you must not dress in very fine clothes. You must wear clothes which are very old and which are, looking not so good. So every day Kate dresses up in her oldest dress, and a dress which might have patches and all. She also has a brother who likes to have fun. He keeps, making some kind of fun for himself, torturing all others. Now, I also gave you the name of the hero, and that is Marlowe. Marlowe has his father and Kate's father are very good friends for a long time. So they decide that if the children get married, it'll be wonderful. Their friendship will become a relationship. So the Kate's father invites his friend's son Marlowe to come and visit them because he doesn't want to take Kate to London. That is where Marlowe lives. He says Marlowe should come to this village, to this rural house. Marlowe is very shy when it comes to women who belong to his own class. They belong to the rich class. Marlowe is also very rich, but he cannot talk to those women. He feels very shy. His best friends are women who are quite poor and they are not eligible. He cannot ever marry them. So somehow he says, okay, let me go and see this girl. But he cannot go alone because he's very shy. So he tells his friend, Marlowe says, let us go and visit these people in their own house in the countryside. The friend is very interested because the girl he loves also lives here. She is the cousin of Kate and she lives here. Now Kate's mother is this cousin's guardian, so she wants the girl, the cousin, to marry her own son, who's Kate's brother, because she has also a lot of jewelry and a lot of wealth, etc. And says, why not marry my own son? Why somebody else? So with hiding his purpose, the friend comes with Marlowe. Now the story begins that these people are waiting. Kate and her parents are waiting for Marlowe to come. The brother knows that he's coming and he wants to do something which will create problems for this person. So he goes to a nearby place where he meets his friends. Marlowe and his friend arrive at this point when it is quite dark. They can't see anything. In the rural areas, there was not much light. This is a 300-year-old play almost, 18th century. So they see a light there and they go there. They say, we are looking for the house. They mention the house of the person they want to go to. The brother of Kate knows that this is his own house that they are asking for. So he says, oh, it is very complicated. You go first, you go right, then you go left, then you go straight, then again you turn back, and then you go again left. In this way, he confuses them totally. The two young men from London, they don't know anything. So they said, oh, this is very complex. I think we should go only in the morning. So the brother says, don't worry, there is a nice inn, INN. Inn is a small place to stay. It is not a big 5-star hotel, but it's a small place where you can eat, you can stay, etc. So he says, you can go there. It is very close. It's just right next door. You walk a little and you will come to that. So these two believe him and they go there. Now this is actually Kate's father's house, which the son says is an inn. You can imagine the confusion that arises. Now we find that these two young men from London, they are very smart and they want to, show their power and their wealth. So they go to this house and they keep shouting by saying, come and help us, come and give us a room. We want to stay here. They speak in a manner which no son-in-law will speak in a father-in-law's house even before, the marriage is performed. They'll be very polite and very decent. But he's not like that. He comes and orders everybody around. Kate's father comes out and sees them and knows that these are the people who've come. So he welcomes them nicely and he talks to them as a senior person would talk to a future son-in-law. Marlowe gets very upset by saying, look at this man. He's the owner of this small inn and he's treating me as though I'm his own son. So he says, hey, don't talk to me like this. Show me my room. And so on. This goes on for some time. Now, Kate, who is dressed in her poor clothes, clothes which are not very good, the clothes which no girl of her class will wear, she is there. Seeing her, Marlowe, says, get me this, get me that. And then he talks to her very nicely. They spent a long time chatting with each other. Whenever he needs something, he tells her. Slowly, Kate comes to know that Marlowe is a very decent person, very nice. Although he has been behaving very indecently with her father, but the real Marlowe is not like that. He's not arrogant. Arrogant is a person who's very proud, who thinks that he is above everybody else. He is not of that same category or same class. So she realizes that he's a very nice person. But she also realizes that if she goes as Kate, they have one scene where she is her own self, Kate. And there, Marlowe keeps his head down. He keeps his eyes down, doesn't look at her at all, doesn't say a single word because he's very shy. He knows that Kate is a rich man's daughter. So he can't say any word. The words don't come out. His mouth is dry. He gets frightened. He cannot speak at all. Many of you say that you have problems in speaking, but that's because your English might not be good. But here, this person is speaking in his own mother tongue, English. But why does he feel scared? He feels scared because of his emotional problem, because of his attitude, his mental problem. So he sees Kate alternately as the rich man's daughter whom he doesn't talk to, he doesn't look at, and as the servant of the inn whom he becomes very friendly with. This creates a lot of hilarious situations in the play. You can read the play originally if you want, and you can enjoy the manner in which they behave. Now, on the other side, there is the story of the cousin and the friend of Marlowe. They meet in secret and they say that I think we should run away today and escape from my aunt so that we can go to London and get married. But she doesn't want to leave all her jewelry. Then the aunt will not give it to her if she marries against the aunt's wishes. So he says, I have to take the jewelry. Now again, Kate's brother comes. He says, don't worry. I don't want to marry her. He tells Marlowe's friend, you marry her. I will help you. So he goes to the mother's room, steals all the jewelry, everything which the cousin has, and gives it to them, saying that you take it and run away. Then the mother realizes suddenly that the jewelry is missing. So she understands that this young girl, who is her niece, must have run away, must have escaped with the jewelry. So she tells her son, let us go after them. Let us not allow them to escape. Immediately let us go. So the son says, yes, mother, I will take you and go. But you remember, the son loves to have fun. So he takes the mother in the carriage. In those days, there were no motor cars. It was only carriage and a horse, or 2, 3, 4 horses. So he takes her in the carriage. It is very dark because all these things are happening in the night. And she sits in the carriage. He drives her around. They have a huge land because they are rich, the huge land. He keeps going round and round in that land, saying that we are going to London. In this way, finally, the father of Kate is so disappointed in Marlowe that he sends a message to the friend by saying, your son is so badly behaved. I thought my daughter and your son could get married. But look at your son. He doesn't treat me with respect. He treats me in a way as though I'm his slave. Therefore, I don't like your son at all. Marlowe's father is shocked because he knows that his son is very well-mannered. He's very decent. He's very nice. But why is he behaving so badly when he has gone there? The father also knows that this girl whom he wants the son to marry is a very nice girl. So he must have liked the girl. So the father comes here. Both the friends tell him that, this is my house and you have come here to marry my daughter. Marlowe is very embarrassed. He said, I'm so sorry. I was told that this is not your house. I was told your house is very far away. And this is only an inn. That is why I behaved like that. Now what the dramatist is telling you is that you must behave properly. Don't behave badly because you think somebody is of a lower class than you. Then Kate's father says, okay, now you have seen my daughter. I have seen also that both of you were talking and laughing and enjoying yourself, so you better marry her. Marlowe is shocked. He says, what daughter? I don't remember seeing your daughter at all. There's only one girl here who has been helping me, getting me my tea and my water and everything else which I wanted. She's a nice girl, but he knows that he cannot marry a servant girl. Now the father is further shocked. He said, what do you mean? That girl whom you saw is whom you have been talking to in such a friendly manner is my daughter Kate. Now Marlowe is further embarrassed. Then he realizes that Kate has been making friends with him because she wanted to know about him. She wanted to judge what kind of a boy has my father chosen for me. She wanted to test him. Therefore, she didn't come as Kate, only she appeared when he didn't look at her. But at other times, she appeared like a lower class person, a person of a lower social category. She stoops to conquer. So she wants to win Marlowe. She's quite happy with Marlowe. She thinks Marlowe will be a good husband for her. But she cannot be herself She cannot go as Kate and then, get friendly with him. So to get friendly with him, to make him know that she is also a very nice person, she stoops and then she conquers. Then, of course, the father says that that person whom you are talking to is my daughter. Only because I like her to dress like that, she is dressed in rags. Rags are, torn clothes. In the meantime, the mother comes and then, realizes that her niece and the other man who the niece loves, the friend of Marlowe, they are more suited. Her son is not interested in getting married to this girl. Although she was trying to get all the money for the son if he marries a rich girl, but the son is not willing. Tony has a big laugh because he's the one who creates all this confusion. The play ends happily with a lot of laughter where Kate and Marlowe get married and the cousin and the friend also get married. That is where the play ends. Now, as I told you, by listening to this play, or if you have the patience to read it, it's a long 5-act play. You can also read it and enjoy. The language is quite simple. It's not like Shakespeare's language, which is tough. And then you can see how much fun there is in it. But then, if you learn enjoying your English, that is much better. So, listen to the story 2-3 times and then write something or speak something based on the story. For instance, you can write a small conversation between the brother and Marlowe, asking the way. Marlowe comes and says, "Could you tell me the way to this house?" Then Tony says, "No, it is very far away." Then Marlowe says, "Don't worry, you please tell me, we will go." Then Tony gives, now I will tell you the names of the characters first before we go in, because I invariably tell the names. Kate, as you know, is Kate Hardcastle. Her name is Kate Hardcastle, Hardcastle. Her father and mother are Mr. and Mrs. Hardcastle. Tony, who's a stepson of Hardcastle, is Tony Lumpkin. He is Kate's brother and the stepson of Mr. Hardcastle, the son of Mrs. Hardcastle. His name is Tony. Tony is the person who makes the whole, confusion in the play. He creates all the fun in the play. The cousin of Kate, who is Mrs. Hardcastle's niece. Niece, is a relationship, aunt and niece. I have given you an entire video on relationships. You can look at that. So here we have the niece. Her name is Constance Neville. Constance. The friend of Marlowe. Marlowe is Charles Marlowe. The father also is Marlowe. And the friend is Hastings. Hastings. So these are the characters who we have. Now, as I was telling you, you can write a dialogue. Marlowe says, Tony says, and then, Tony gives directions which are very, very confusing by saying go left, then go straight, then go right, then turn around, then come back again, then again go right. In this way, he confuses them completely. So Marlowe then says, okay, I think I cannot find it. Can you tell me where we can stay in the night? Then again, Tony gives some directions and says that there is an inn close by. You can go and talk to the innkeeper. In this way, 5 or 10 sentences conversation. Because conversation is a wonderful way of, learning English, practicing on your own. There's a whole video on practicing on your own. Now, listening to the story, you can always practice on your own by thinking of this conversation. You can have another conversation between Marlowe when he comes and meets Mr. Hardcastle for the first time. He doesn't realize this is his future father-in-law. How he talks. Hey you, come and show us where the rooms are. Do you have any free rooms? Like that, you can have another 5 or 10 sentences conversation. Then you can have a conversation between Kate, dressed as a servant maid, and Marlowe, who has come to stay in what he thinks is not the house, but an inn. That also you can have a small dialogue. You can have one between Tony and Hastings, where Tony is telling Hastings, I don't want to marry Constance, you marry her. But why will you leave the jewelry? I will steal it and I will bring. Hastings is very frightened. He says, no, please don't do like that. In this way, you can have 3 or 4 conversations based on this, remembering that this is a drama, this is a play. All these characters are talking to each other. I told you the story, but the story is not everything. Now, you can also give short, speeches about each of the characters. Kate is a very smart girl because she knows how to handle situations. Sometimes she's herself, sometimes she's a servant maid. She's also very able to adjust. Marlowe is a very shy person with people of his class, but he's very open and friendly with others. Then you have Mr. Hardcastle, who's very stingy, but who loves his daughter and wants a good boy for the daughter. And he's found Marlowe, but he thinks that, oh my God, Marlowe is so terrible. In this way, you can talk about each of these people for 3 or 4 or 5 sentences. In this way, you can practice your English. For this, you need to hear the story a few times. And you need to, recollect what I have said as I was narrating the story. In 4 words, the title, She Stoops to Conquer, I have told you how to learn grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation, spelling, everything. Now I must have used 400 words or 800 words to tell you the story. Can you identify each word which I have used? Find out if there are any items of vocabulary for you to learn. What pronunciation or spelling you can't, because I'm not spelling many words except the names. Then grammar, how the structures are, all these things, if you organize, then you will find that you are improving English. The story is interesting because everybody likes listening to a story. If you tell me a story, I will find it more interesting than if you just tell me a few points. So using this story to practice all the other things which I have told you, start thinking in English. Think of the whole story in English. Start listening to English, speaking, after listening, speaking. And of course, whenever a story is told, the standard exercise is retelling the story in your own words. I have also told you, you can recreate the story. You think as though you are taking this story and writing your own. So you take some other names, some other characters, use some part of it and use some new idea. You will have a wonderful story to practice. Remembering that practice by thinking in English, speaking in English, recording, listening, and again correcting yourself. I hope all of you will practice English using these series of good stories which I am giving you. All the best and thank you.